All right, welcome to the next video. This will be the last video where we talk about build environment and tools. So after this video, which we're going to focus on IDA Pro, we'll get into actually creating the shellcode. So to dive right in, pulling up the help information for SCLauncher, the actual main reason that I created this tool, we'll continue to provide the path to our shellcode, and I'm going to just use this initial blob code that we created in the first video, or one of the first videos, to continue. We're going to go to the section here creating a PE file. Right? So -PE will be one argument, and that's really it. That's all we really need. Now, you have some additional options here. For example, if you have additional content that you want to load, sometimes shellcode is dependent on other things being in memory. You can provide that as a path to another file with whatever that content is. We can use this tool to create 64-bit shellcode, which assumes then that your input shellcode is actually 64-bit. This just makes sure that the file that it creates, the PE file, is 64-bit. And then the output file name, -O. Okay, now we're ready to actually create the PE file. And you'll see that I'm going to use the -F argument as we've been doing. Now we can use -PE. That will indicate to SCLauncher to create the PE file, and then -O, I'm going to wrap this in double quotes. So we have the output file video 01.exe. So now we can run our command, and what we should see is that it's done building the PE file, created the file, there's our file name, and of course we can now check that. Big difference between the previous versions is once we look at this file, now file utility says, oh yeah, this is actually a PE32 file. And so what's nice about that is that we can go directly to IDA Pro with our shellcode. Now, if we just say, let's just go and try to open up the shellcode, right? So we have in video _01. This is the the original blob of shellcode that we assembled. Double click on that, and you'll see that IDA and the free versions, and this has long been one of the limitations with the free versions, is IDA will only disassemble PE files. So in a way, it kind of helps us around some of those limitations that are tool-based. Others, it just opens up all of the tools that are for PE files only, and allows them to work with essentially our shellcode. So now if we go to video 01, which is the file that we just produced, and we disassemble it with IDA, you can see that here we are, right? Here's our code, XOR EAX, EAX. We can turn on line prefixes. Basically what I do with the tool is just create a text section and copy the shellcode into that text section. And so now we can not only analyze this disassembly, and this would be the process if, say, I just gave you a blob of shellcode to reverse engineer. This is probably where you'd start. But we can also set breakpoints, and with the free version of IDA, we just have the local Windows debugger, but we set a breakpoint here, and we hit play. Now we're in and off debugging with IDA, right? And so we can open up the toolbar for the debugger. I like to do these with videos just so you can see what I'm clicking on. So up here in the center of the screen, right now we can start stepping through our shellcode, and we'll be able to use that. So, throughout the rest of the course, it's completely up to you how you want to debug your shellcode. I kind of like producing the PE file and then using IDA. One of the other benefits of that is that, for example, at the end of this course or the series, we're just going to pop a message box. Well, now we can just run that executable, which has our shellcode directly, right? We don't have to load it up via this utility and run through it using this, either execute it through this utility, which SCLauncher will do, right? If we just say load the shellcode, that's going to load it and execute it. But we can also now just directly execute the PE file, or the executable that we created. So okay, so that's using IDA, and again, everything up until this point and throughout this course will just be free and open source versions of tools. In the next video now, we're going to actually start doing and creating our shellcode to do something useful. So that'll be the next video. Hope to see you then.